Let's take a second look at comparing decimal numbers. So this one says, Farik and Nishan were counting the coins they had in their piggy banks. Farik counted 8 dimes and Nishan counted 68 pennies. Who has more money? Well, if we look at our 8 dimes here, that would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. It would be 80 cents. Now, when we write that as a dollar amount, though, on our place value chart, we would write it like this. 80 cents. And then we could count our pennies, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then 8 more would be 68. So it is 68 cents. 68 cents, when we write it on our place value chart, would look like this. So since Farik has 8 dimes, Farik has more money because 8 tenths, which is what dimes are, is greater than 68 cents. So Farik has more. Here's another example. During field day, Jaden and Hunter were racing each other to finish 10 jumping jacks. Jaden finished in 7/10 of a second, and it took Hunter 76 hundredths of a second. Who finished first? Well, I have these two charts here. So since Jaden finished 7/10, I'm going to fill in Jaden on my tenths chart. There's my 7/10. And Hunter finished in 76 hundredths. So there's and then 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 76 hundredths. Now, when I'm looking at this, I can see that this amount is the same as this amount over here. So that means that this is just a little bit more. So 76 hundredths is a little bit greater than 7/10. Now, we want to know who finished first. Well, that would be the person who was quicker or less time. So Jaden finished first. Let's take a look at another example. Mateo and Amelia were at a gymnastics competition. Mateo scored 8.7 on his skill. Then Amelia scored 8 and 88 hundredths on her skill. So let's put those on this chart. 8 and 7 tenths, that's Mateo. 8 and 88 hundredths, that's Amelia. Who scored more points? Well, to make this useful, I like to add in that 0. So now I have 8 and 70 hundredths and 8 and 88 hundredths. And when I see them written in the same place value, the 8 and the 8 ones match up. But this one is 7/10, this one is 8/10, so this one has to be bigger. So that means 8 and 88 hundredths is greater than 8 and 7/10, which means that Amelia scored more points. Just as a review, here's one other way you could do it. You could use the number line. Sonia and Dahlia weighed the amount of candy they collected on Halloween night. Sonia collected 10 and 4/10 pounds, and Dahlia collected 10 and 33 hundredths pounds. Who collected more? Well, we could use a number line. Now, I see this is written out to the 10th place, and this is written out to the 100th place. So I'm going to put 10 and 4/10 here, 10 and 5/10 here, and 10 and 3/10 here, which means that in between would be my hundredths. So this would be 10 and 31, 10 and 32, 10 and 33, 10 and 34, and so on. 35, 10 and 36, 37, 38, and 39. And then here, we would have 10 and 41, 42, 43, 44, and so on. Well, I need to find 10 and 33. Well, 10 and 33 is right here, and 10 and 4/10, which would be right here. Well, that means then that 10 and 4/10 is greater than 10 and 33/100, which means that Sonia collected more candy. So just as a quick review, you can use, when you are doing this, you can use a number line like we just did. You can use a place value chart like we did on the previous page, where you're thinking about your ones, your tenths, and your hundredths, and you want all of them to the same place value. Or you can use the models. And in the models, we had our tenths, and we had our hundredths. Okay, so these would be our tenths, and these would be our hundredths. Most importantly, you always want them to be the same place.